All right, howdy folks, and welcome to Alwa's NES Awakening. This is stream number 13. My name is Paul. I go by InfiniteNesLives online, and if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, there's links in the description to times of the recap and other things that might be interesting. Last time we worked on, I don't remember exactly what all we did, I just remember where it ended up. We got the updates working in the proper name table. So before we just always, or a while ago, we'd always just scroll left and right. And now we can hit the D-pad. We can scroll. If I hit left, it loads up one room, and then we just scroll by manually hitting shift to scroll left or right, whatever. We can hit right, load up a different name table, scroll into it, and then so left and right scrolls go from the default name table 0 to name table 1. And fix that over there. Okay, and then up and down vertical scrolls, they have to scroll within the same name table. We have vertical mirroring. So this is name table 1, and this is also name table 1. But we have this buffer up here, which would be where the heads up display is. So if I hit up on the D-pad, it'll do that. Or if I hit down, but we're not scrolling as it's happening. We just make the updates. So first thing I want to do is tie together just use the D-pad for now. So as soon as I hit it, then it works on the updates and scrolls in, and so getting the scroller engine more close to final, and then we have some we have some tricky code that we're gonna have to do to fit all of the name table updates within that 4 tile heads up display. Well, I guess it's yeah, it's 4. Because I don't actually, my heads up display is only 3, but we have this first row is blank because we're assuming that it's consumed by the overscan. Just making sure I can see everything here. All right, so let's start off with that. Oh, one little update that I made over the weekend is separating all of the code into separate files. I figured it was going to be some figuring out to get it all working and boring to watch. So I just went ahead and did that. So the way I have it set up is the alwa.s is just the main project file, and I basically just define the entire memory map here. So I put my header in a separate file, I put all my pattern tables in a separate file, and include those in the main project, and then I start separating out the 2K bytes of 0 page. So I have a specific file for 0 page, and I may change how I do this, but that's how I'm going to do it for now. And then I define my OAM here. I define the remaining RAM as BSS in a separate file. Read-only data. So now we get into the program. I start off the file with read-only data, so that's at the beginning, and then the code follows, and my vectors are at the very end. So it's kind of arranged like the memory map to some degree. Oh, one thing. Well, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so I also clean up the makefile bit. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but I was always making clean and then making, well, just have make clean first. So just doing some cleanup. Trying to think where all this stuff is now. So what I want to do is right now, scroll dir. So right now, if I push up, I set scroll dir to up. If I push down, I set it to scroll dir down, and so forth. And then I interpret it. Oh wait, no, that's the direction, but push start. So the way the scrolling is handled now is I increment scroll Y for start or scroll X for increment scroll X for X, and then however long you're holding the button, it will scroll. I don't want the start and select buttons to do anything. So this is kind of I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are used to doing this, but the insanity of having everything in one file. I can have two entirely different chunks of code that are tied together, visible at one time in the same editor. Just a lot of scrolling back and forth and makes things more sane. Except I want to look for other things, and all right, so it's in my main. Just have to get used to where everything's at here. So in my main, I don't know why my computer does that when I'm streaming, or Vim does. Might be my keyboard going through a USB hub. Anyway. Hey, what's going on, playa? So I'm you may be familiar with this game, Alwa's Awakening. It first released on Steam 2 years ago or so, and then they released on Switch last year. I bought it on Switch after buying a PC. I don't usually play PC games. I bought it on the Switch once it released there, and I played through and beat it. And I've always kind of had a desire to port retro-like games, or maybe not even retro-like, but especially if they're retro-like, port them back to the NES. So that's what I'm working on right now. I got some dummy screens set up, and we can do some scrolling into these other dummy screens, and I'm just working on the engine right now so that we can get to the point of creating rooms and start to work on all the rooms are 16 by 9 in the original game. We're gonna have to compress those down to 4 by 3 and kind of rethink some of those things, but the graphics are very close to the NES, so there's not much that's going to be lost there. And it's a relatively small game. I thought about doing this for Shovel Knight a long time ago, but the game's so big, and they keep making it bigger. But yeah, so all this code here is an assembly for the NES to write. So right now we're linking up the scrolling so it's automatic instead of with the start and select. And I decided we're gonna take 2 frames per tile. So the scroll rate's gonna be 4 pixels per frame when it's scrolling from one room to the other. So in the main, I'll load scroll dir. So if last frame we push a direction, I'll load scroll dir. If there is none, I will just skip all of this. So scroll count. Hotline Miami. I'm not familiar with that game. I'll have to check it out. Hotline Miami. Oops. Damn it. I might try switching my keyboard over to this other hub that's more capable. I don't know what's the matter. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, there's quite a bit there going on, but what's it called? It's not Grand Theft Auto, but it's almost like a Grand Theft Auto retro version. I can't remember what it's called. I've got the game, but there's an NES version of that, and it uses MMC5, and you know, you'd have to rework it quite a bit, but you could definitely do it justice, you know. But yeah, so it's you just really have to want to do it and invest the time to do it. But I think it's kind of a shortcut to, like, I want to make games, but in my opinion, the majority of the work is the content, creating the art, the music, the level design, like, especially from like an engineering background, programmer background, like the code, I can figure that out. It's just a matter of time. But like the content's huge, so it's kind of a shortcut by porting another game, but yeah, and you have to be. I mean, it's hard to be good at pixel art, music composition, programming. There's very few people that have all that. And I think Brad Smith might be one of the only people, Rain Warrior, only people that I know that really have all that. Lots of people have success with teams, especially since the NES Dev competition started doing that. So let's go back up here. So I load scroll count. We have like 16. Oh, that's cool. What are you guys? You guys just meeting up, or you have some stream planned or anything like that? Oh, swap meet. Yeah, that's cool. I haven't met Brad yet. I am going to Midwest Gaming Classic next weekend. So I know there's going to be some people there I haven't met yet, and that'll be good. Okay, so I load scroll count. It'll be it starts off at 16. So this may be where I want to start the scroll, or initialize the scroll counter. Fingers. Jesus. Oh yeah, I think it's better now. They're getting pretty close, but yeah, it's a long ways. I mean, I personally, I'm not really a collector. I just kind of go to them for advertisement to some degree, or really now it's just the people. Streamlabs? No. What is that? Where is it? As if Nintendo Age has its own room. A program? So it's like an online thing then, or is it a physical event? And stream as in like Twitch streaming or something? Oh, yeah. I could probably use some of that. I don't know. I'm kind of a basic person, but I don't like to get fancy too often. But I started watching some different streams and stuff, and realizing where I'm lacking and stuff. I just finally recently got a computer setup which seems to be working, but I'll have to check that out. Okay, so scroll. How do we want to? So if I'm scrolling left or right, well, I'm scroll should always be right here, because that's where my default. You don't have to capture it every time. I'm not sure what you mean there. What am I setting? Oh. So when I reset scroll, I'm always setting scroll X to 0, name table 1, and scroll Y to 31. So it should already be reset. Scroll X goes from 0 to 255, and then, well, it's going to change name table right away. All right, take care, playa. So if I'm scrolling left, I'm immediately going to be in the next name table. So scroll name table is going to go to 0 or to 0, and this is the scroll X is going to go to 255, and then increment all the way down. But I have, for scroll left and right, I need to have the name table already loaded. So that's going to happen beforehand. So maybe I can just, after the name tables are all done for left and right, then I can call the scroll routine. Updates first, then scroll. But on the Y, vertical, up and down, I need to scroll while I'm updating, because all we have is that 4-byte buffer. So vertical scrolls, and I kind of want to do horizontal first, but think about some of this. Vertical scrolls, it'll be at the default name table 1 and 31, which is this pixel here. So if we're scrolling down, we're just going to decrement scroll Y, or no, increment scroll Y by 8 every frame, or no, 4 every frame, and then we're going to decrement on vertical scrolls, and whenever we roll over, then we're going to change the, no, we're not going to change the name table at all. It's always going to be 1. Okay. So but maybe we want, instead of having to compare, because we're not actually scrolling 240 pixels, we're only scrolling it's 240 minus 24 for the HUD. So it's 216. Is that right? 216 divided by 8, 27. No, it's not 24, it's 32. Well, 32 pixels. 240 minus 32. 208 divided by 8, 26. Yeah. $208 total pixels scrolled. So we need a new variable if that's how we're determining it. Anyway, let's not worry about this vertical yet. Let's do, I'm going to comment out those are going to be called somewhere. I think maybe in the main. F5, does that just do it? Yeah. Okay, so our scrolling doesn't work. So these are literally only changing those. Okay. So with left and right scrolls, we gotta go to the very end. We also decrement scroll count here. I wonder if we want to add one more. So that when we decrement to 0, that's when we do the switch. Might make, because I have to sense. I don't know if I we will probably have a glitch in the bottom left corner or right if we start scrolling before it's completely done. We could also set scroll dir to something else, because I set it to none or up, down, left, right, but if it's so maybe if I set scroll dir to like a perform scroll. So if it's left or right, we need to update it. If it's up and down, do something else. So and there's still going to be more work after done with all of this, because this only gets us to the play field that visually it's the right play field, but we're no longer in the default state. So we need to go back and update. So there's going to be all these other things to do, but it's not actually going to scroll. It's just going to swap name tables or, yeah. Anyway, there's going to be even more work to do. So let's see here. And I can change these variables to make the checking easier. So scroll dir none. I have set as 255. Why not 0? in the main, I don't do anything with it because it's commented out. Oh, that's weird. So I don't even really use my scroll to none. Oh, I say it's 0 here, but it's actually 255. Gosh, that's all. LDA scroll dir branch of equal, but I never actually set anything to scroll dir. So let's actually set scroll dir none to 0. LDA scroll none scroll dir. Although I comment in my code, I kind of make sure things work after breaking it, but I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm just actually using my constant. But if I'm going to change these, I think I want to. So let's see. What if oh, that's not right. What's $sign? So if it's a just setting the bits, I should be writing this in binary. Binary is 0B, I think. Oh, percent. Yeah, so CA65, you can do $sign or trailing age or percent for binary. So that's the only problem though. So my idea here is to set some bits to tell us, or we can just check that bit to see if it's a vertical or horizontal, or if it's camera move, or it's whatever. So let's if it's a scroll, if it's a scroll, bit 3 is set. If we need a camera move afterwards, we set this bit, and up, down, left, or right uses the first 2 bits. Okay. All right. So that still works. Computer's screaming away over here. It's probably the whining that you're hearing. Or not. Okay. let's see, part of me says it's best to have this right above a function using it. Oh, what? Part of the thing is if I define the 0 page variable here in the file, then I can't use my main to define what section all the rest of this code is in, because I can't just define it right beforehand. So that's kind of the benefit of putting here. I put the variables and just whatever, I can comment it, but define it in 0 page. I just kind of like, especially with 0 page, but like I said, if you have any section definitions inside the unless there's some way to like temporarily define this section then go back to what the previous one was. And I haven't really got into putting code in different banks. I'm still working within 32 KB, so anyway. So now, if it wasn't 0, then we do scroll dir, or we assume that it's one of these scrolls, and we start doing name table updates. But if it's, so really I should be checking is bit 3 set. If bit 3 set, then go do all that stuff. Bit 4 denotes camera left, right. So what we can do here is just handle the last update, which is only half. Did I ever do that? I assume I did. Check if horizontal scroll and updates done. Time to move camera. So scroll dir will A equals scroll dir. we can compare with zero, or no, 1, 0. Okay. Or no, I want to and it. And if it's 0, then skip past the next code. So time to move camera. Move camera horizontally. I still don't, if I'm going to be doing a bunch of code, I don't really like these nameless labels, because if I put a branch in here, it's going to be all messed up. And I'm doing that a few places. And as it grows, it's like, it's one thing just for a 16-bit math, but let's change this. Oh, well, I can even jump to fill buffer. I'm going to try to not let myself do it for more than a couple lines of code. These are Brad's. So So the easier one's going to be right because the name table is at the very end. But we also need to know if this is the first one or if this is a subsequent one. And we'll come back here again each time. So maybe we could change the variable. Add another use bit. Use bit 5. Set it if it's moving. Don't init. Now we need to know if it's left or right. And we always use bit 0 is down. No. Bit 0 is up or left. Bit 1 is down right. Because here's up and left. Bit 0 set left, right, right, down. up, left, mask. Okay. So up left mask and down right mask. And then do we have a scroll mask? Shoot. Really, this is like an update mask. But I don't know if I want to change. Wait, that doesn't look right. Oops. This is supposed to be scroll right. Up, down, left, right. How did I do this? I was trying to set this bit 3 basically equals horizontal. Or bit 2, sorry. Horizontal mask. Because if it's horizontal, then we can tell if we need a oh, that's not right. Okay, so we have a horizontal mask, we have a scroll mask. Okay. Because we might anyway. So here I and with camera mask. I'll set camera mask if it's horizontal at the end. Maybe I should just do that now. I can leave everything else. Well, I guess I want to clear scroll mask, but to some degree it doesn't matter. I'll do that here. So if camera and scroll mask are set, doesn't the camera overrides it? But I don't know if we bit masking. Yeah, I mean it saves bytes, but it also makes comparisons easier. Don't have to do like a greater than, less than. You can just say, is this bit set, with an and in a branch. Well, let's just go ahead and do it. It's just one instruction, so we wanna clear the scroll, and we and with the inverse. Is there an inverse? I guess we can use the we can just define it. Normally I'm used to the compiler that's inverse. Anyway, just do something. So scroll inverse. or cam we want to set the camera mask. And then it'll be equal to camera left right. So camera mask. Well, maybe I should be having camera bit and then camera mask. Anyway. Because mask is usually the opposite. So this masks you can only see anyway. Well, it's actually or is like or is it 3? I think it's everything's 3, so it's or I can't or a. Jeez, what is it? Is that loud for you guys? I don't know. It shouldn't be too loud for you. It's loud for me. I think I can turn up my volume, down my volume. But I'll still hear myself fine. Okay. All right, so we set the camera bit. Scroller is no longer really is a good name for this variable. But yeah. Okay. That's a lot of things. Okay, so end with a camera bit. If it's 0, then we go to camera done. Time to move the camera horizontally. If LDA cam move bit. Or just LDA scroll dir. Or cam move bit stay scroll. So on the init, I don't even know if we, well, I think we need a counter. Do we? For X? Because for X, we're always just gonna add or subtract 4 from scroll X based on left or right. But we need to change name table update. But maybe we can change name table, or not name table update, change the name table just based on the fact if there's a, I don't even know if we need this camera, we need this initialize. We can just add or subtract if if we subtract and there's a carry, we need to, or the carry is clear, a borrow occurred, we need to change name tables. If there's an add and the carry is set, then we need to change name tables. So I don't even think we need this. We just need to add or subtract from scroll Y. It's a 9-bit value basically. But we do need to know when to stop. So we can't just keep going forever in the X, and maybe we can still keep track of that, because if we go left, the first time is when we have a carry. But then if it happens again, we're done. Or if it's 0, we're done. So if we have a borrow, but we should be checking if it's 0. Yeah, we don't know the difference between the first one and the last one. Or, well, yeah, we do, because we first do the math. It should be 0 on entry, but if it's 0 on exit, we're done. And that's the same for both. If it's 0 on exit, don't come back here again. So left subtract, right add. If scroll X equals 0 on exit, done with camera. Set to go back to default name table. I don't know if all this, it's just one big function doing so many things, but anyway. So scrollder is still Stupid stuff. Okay. If left. So, what it's up left bit. LDA scroll X. Dang it. Clear carry. Subtract carry. Right? Eight. Store in scroll dir. Now, if there was a if borrow set to name table 0. Branch if carry clear. We want to go down to horizontal camera. Well, if it's set. Oh wait, hold on a second. I want to set the carry, not clear it. I should just use the macro. I forget how to do that. Macro packages using macpack directive. We have add, subtract, and all these weird branches. generic. So MacPack generic. We'll just put that. I'm going to mess this up. $313. Draw is undefined. Where'd that guy go? I accidentally commented out. Supposed to be in the main. Well, it's right there. What didn't find it? Oh, 208. Draw undefined. Hey, how we doing, 8-bit fan? Is it too far of a branch? What's going on here? It's at 459, 208, 214. But it doesn't. That is good. I'm just going to change this. To not a local. Because I think there's probably other things going on in between. There we go. Error colon 313. What's the command? There you go. Oh, I thought I did that. Okay, come on now. Yeah, range error. Yeah, I'm pretty backlogged right now. Where did you contact me before? Tickets or email? If you just let me know when, where, whatever I can, or hit me up. If you can just email me, Paul at InfiniteNesLives right now, and I'll check into it, or if you let me know what it is your order is, maybe I can give you a quick update. But there's a lot of things shipping out this week that should get us close to caught up. But depending upon what you ordered, I'm behind on tickets and email. Otherwise, I'm totally caught up on Twitter and Facebook, and those are good places to contact me for quick questions. So draw is too far. There's something with long. Oh, here we go. Mac packages. Long branch. This package defines long conditional jumps. They're named. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know without looking it up quick, but okay. Are you under? I just want to make sure that I know who I'm looking for specifically, since you're reaching me here. I don't. If you can tell me a date or something, I just need something to make sure that I'm addressing you and not somebody else. If you email me right now, I'll check when I get off the stream or whatever. But I just need to be able to. I've got like hundreds of them right now that I'm trying to keep up with. Most of them are just, if I push them out the door, then it solves the problem. And then I'll catch up on stuff. So all macros expand to a short branch if the label is already defined, back jump, and is reachable with a short jump. Otherwise, it expands. So I can just do macpack long branch, and then when that happens, I can do jump if equal to March 22nd. That's your order date or when you contacted me? Okay. All right, I'll check it out. So long branch, draw, jump subroutine, draw, that's not it. Jump, jump. Sounds good. But these are straight up jumps, so why? No prob. It's not a branch issue, it's a jump issue? Oh, maybe it's not actually draw. It's saying range error. I am, this is kind of my fun project for the year. I realized that everything my hobby has became my job, and so everything that I do for fun turns into work, which is tiring because I start some project for fun and then it becomes something I have to get done. So it's kind of a dilemma for my psyche, my hey Koitsu, how we doing? When everything that I do for fun becomes work, it kind of, to some degree, it sucks some of the fun out of it. It turns it into a job. I mean, I love what I do, but it can be stressful not having hobby projects. I basically lost hobby projects in the process of all of this. So, yeah, Alwa's Awakening. The original game released a couple years ago on Steam, and then last year it released on Switch and just came out on PS4. Anyway, I've always had fun or liked the idea of converting retro style games on modern platforms back to the NES, and I can never the feat of programming my own NES game. It's just always, I have better things to do with my time. Well, this is kind of my project to work on and not feel guilty about working on other things. So that's kind of my New Year's resolution, was to devote this time once a week and not feel guilty about how I should be doing. You know, I've always got a backlog of stuff going on, or things that I should have released months ago. So this is just what I'm doing. And Twitch kind of started off as like a commitment device. Like, it's not just saying no to myself if I'm going to work on it this week or not. It's people, not, I didn't expect a lot of people to tune in, but when I know people do, usually then it's me telling them, no, I'm not going to be there. But it's made a lot of fun having people watch me and comment me, and Koitsu's fixed a bunch of my bugs live on, so that's always, it has worked well as a commitment device. So okay, I'm sorting out this bug here. I've got a range error, some branch causing problems. On line 287. Okay, so branch if equal no scroll. So I added that macro so I can use jump if equal. Okay, it looks like it's working. At least it's building. Yeah, it's a good game, and it's relatively small compared to, like, I was interested in Shovel Knight, but it's just so big and pushes the limits. It pushes past the limits of the NES much more. Alwa's Awakening is pretty close, and I don't have any specific plans of releasing. I mean, I would like to, but I'm going to sort that out after it's done. My biggest concern is talking too much about after it's done could turn this into work, and then kind of takes away my goal of making this fun for hobby. If I don't finish it, I mean, I want to, but like when, 1 week at a time. So let's see. We have some new macros, so I don't mess up subtract, and I can easily handle range errors. So right now we are trying to make it so that, and I think I might broke right now. If you want to scroll left or any direction, you have to use the start or select. But I want it to where after right now I'm working on, if you thanks, Koitsu. Yeah, they're basically all done right now, and closures and everything. And so Todd and I are working on getting everything 100% caught up this week. Part of the thing is I'm handling a bunch of orders because he's getting caught up from other things, and hopefully after this week he'll be handling 100% of the orders, and I can get back to focusing on code and customer support. completely, which is good for everybody. Just in time for me to release the audio adapters, which is gonna recreate that situation to some degree, but hopefully for not long. Okay. So right now we're handling horizontal scroll. As soon as the name table update's done, then we start scrolling. And so not subtract 8, subtract 4, because we're going to move 4 pixels per frame. This is a left scroll. Sorry. And for right scroll, we're going to add so now if there was a borrow, we have to set to name table 0 because we're going from 1 over to 0. So LDA 0 STA, was it name? I don't remember. Yeah, scroll name table. Oh, but I have to. So this was what I was trying to do. So carry will be clear if there's a borrow. If carry's still set, then we're done. So branch carry set. Horizontal cam done. All right. Okay, so now we'll handle a right scroll. Now in this case, oh, we also need to check if, actually, not end, we need to check done. Because we need to check for our exit condition if it's 0. Add, and now in the right scroll, we don't actually stay in name table 1 until the very last. And so we're gonna get a carry. If we get a carry, then we set to name table. So if carry set to name table 1. Okay. So, but we go branch of carry clear to check done, or maybe we should call that exit. Okay. So let's see if we, okay. Just want to review this code quick here to make sure I didn't do something stupid. Yeah, there we go. I OR'd instead of ANDed. Okay, so starting off here, we load scroll direction. If there's no scroll, right? Okay. So if scroll dir is 0, we do nothing, we exit. If camera bit is set, then we skip over this code that we're doing and jump into what we're doing, what we previously had working. So scroll dir, A is still set to scroll dir. We check for, oh, you know what I'm doing though. I'm changing scroll dir because I'm using AND. I really want to compare because compare will subtract the, see, sometimes it's best just to review your code before you start running it, assuming it works, and look for bugs afterwards. So compare will subtract and set the flags. But I don't really want to subtract. I'm checking for the masks, so I can just keep doing that, but I need to reload anytime if that's how I want to do it. Yeah, it's not there. So LDA scroll dir and up left bit. So that's just checking if it's left or right. If it's left scroll, we do our, okay. Yeah, so if scroll dir up left bit is clear, we're gonna jump to right scroll. Otherwise, we're in left scroll. So we load scroll X, subtract 4, store it. If carry is clear, then that means there was a borrow. If carry is still set, then we're done here. We check for exit. So if carry is clear, then we adjust name table. Right scroll, we load scroll X, add, store, branch if carry clear, right? Because there's no carry, we check for exit. Otherwise, we set to name table 1. Okay. I just want to see if the next time does null scroll or horizontal cam done, is that still assuming that scroll dir is an A? Anyway, I'm not sure, but no, because we're loading scroll dir right away anyway. Okay. So now check exit. If it's equal to 0, we want this update to happen because this is setting us at the very this is the final resting place for this scroll. But we don't want to do any of this again. And so to do that, we can just clear the camera bit. In the scroll bit, now we're still not completely done because we're not in the scroll will be done, but we're not in the default name table. So let's create a bit for that. Call this go. So we'll clear the camera bit. Okay, so we'll load. Oh, but we want to really check. To check, we so A actually equals A equals scroll X right now because that was the last thing we did before we jumped here. So we can just do a oh, hold on a second. If all we're doing is checking for 0, then we could just it's gonna mess other things up. So let's branch equal branch not equal. So if A is not equal to 0, we're just going to keep going. So LDA scroll dir and camera mask. Camera mask clear camera bit. Or go So we'll kick that off. But this should be the bulk of the code. We won't come back here again. But now we also don't want to start scrolling, because here this code assumes that we're scrolling, and we would have skipped this. So let's go back up here. So if camera bit's clear, we go to horizontal camera done. And if horizontal camera's done, really I just want to, at this point I want to jump to or I only want this code to execute if the scroll bit is set. So jump to no scroll, but I mean, this release that we just did was the first one we did with Mojang Twins. I do publish the Action 53, and they've submitted, I think, every time, or at least in recent history, they always submit in multiple copies. So this is kind of the first, but I've been, well, we've been working on this release for a long time, so it feels like I've been talking to them for a while, but Action 53 and this Mojonian Tales is the mostly the extent of what I've done with them. So this code needs to just check. And yeah, I think that one was in one of the was an action that was in Action 53 volume 3. But I think there's a bunch more Cheryl games in the Mojonian Tales we just released. I have a hard time keeping up with all. Yeah, I have a hard time keeping up with everything. There's lots of. It's they've kind of created like a universe to some degree. Like all of their characters are tied together, and so a lot of the games. There's Cheryl games in the Mojonian Tales, but I don't know how closely if you really like that game, you want more levels. If that's in the Mojonian Tales or not, you have to. I've only had limited time to connect all the dots, but if you haven't checked into Mojonian Tales, there's a trailer and a demo that should be on our sales page. I don't know how much you can tell what's in there or not based on that, but you can also reach out to Mojon Twins on social media and stuff, and I'm sure they'll reply to you. They're active on Twitter, and they have Facebook account, but I don't see their Facebook much. Yeah, and I remember that game. I just don't know. I don't think there is. There's Cheryl games, but I don't know if they're the same. Yeah, I would hit them up. They're very active on Twitter and probably on Facebook, but I can't tell much because I can't connect to other companies on Twitter easily, and I don't use it personally much anyway. Okay. Oh no, we want. Okay, yeah. So we and it and branch. I might have to jump, but branch. Yeah, I mean you can also email them and stuff too. I don't know if they have that posted. They have a website, but it's all in Spanish. Anyway, I'll try to connect you. Okay. So we're checking if the scroll bit is set. So and scroll bit branch if equal scroll done. No problem. Or no scroll. Yeah. But I definitely check out the trailer and the demo on the sales page for Mojonian Tales on my site, and that might just answer your question. If it's there, anyway. If you don't see it, then be worthwhile reaching out to them. That was I got a lot of people like that game. It is pretty good. Yeah, and that's kind of what I've gathered too. Yep, you will then. If you ordered it. Okay. And if that's, I can, based on that information, I can, if you ordered Mojonian Tales and a couple other games, I was low on all the other homebrews, so that's why, because you have other games in your order, that's why it delayed, but I got them all assembled last night and today, and so those orders are expecting to ship tomorrow. Gosh, I don't think this is gonna work, but this code's gonna keep happening, but I don't think I'll do anything because I don't have something to catch the. Yeah. Yep. Then you can expect that to ship tomorrow, but if I don't get it to it tomorrow, it's definitely going out this week. Yep. 335. Man, these macros are nifty. I mean, I knew they were, but they're so easy. The range error especially. I don't know that existed. Okay. I don't even know if I'm calling everything like I want. Oh, I would say probably not. I mean, they're asking if Super Bat Puncher is going to be finished. So the guys who did that, or maybe it was just the one Meow. I don't know if Nicholas was in there, but he's basically said that he's tired of getting asked that question. It's not going to happen, but who knows? I mean, you never really know. Maybe he will pick it up, but he's tired of people asking. So generally the answer is no. And maybe if somebody else asked, "Hey, I love this. Do you mind if I pick it up and run with it?" I don't know if he's been asked that question, but that's kind of he probably wants to reserve the right to do something in the future. But depending upon who asks him and how he feels, who knows? But then the other question is, somebody else picks it up, can they do it as well as he did? I don't know. All right, so things are not working. Of course. Start debugging the code. So does anything happen if I push right? Oh, it does update. Left, it does update. Okay. Oh, did I set the camera? It looks like it's not even doing our camera code. So here's where we're supposed to be calling that. So decrement scroll count. If we're done, clear scroll directions so we stop updates. Branch. So yeah, right here I'm just going ahead and setting it to none anyway. I don't have a branch. So if horizontal scroll, now it's time to set and move the camera. So I load scroll dir, I and scroll mask. So I clear the scroll bit. I OR in the camera bit, and I stored a scroll dir, but I didn't create my else statement. I just go ahead and set it to none and exit. Well, that was simple, but probably not the only bug. Okay. There's not a branch only, just jump. Jump, no scroll. So we need to detect. We need to detect horizontal. And no, I didn't. I didn't do it. I didn't do make clean make. Last weekend, I I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, but I just went ahead and, because all I was doing is clean and then make, I included the dependency on make all to clean and then thanks. I don't know why I didn't think to, I mean, yeah, it's just, normally I don't always clean, but then I was wanting to always clean, and so I didn't think to just go ahead and do it. Yeah. I also over the weekend, I said this in the beginning of the stream, but nobody was here. Well, you probably noticed. I separated everything into different files. So it was boring, but well needed. So now, and I don't know how. Yeah, the dependent, and the way that I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a shortcut. It might come back to bite me somehow, but I don't have to search around for all of the different files. I just include the files. I like being sidetracked though, but yeah. So my build path now is the same. I just build Alwa. But Alwa is just my main project, so I just include everything into Alwa, and then it builds as that one file. So the header, everything's in a separate file. The pattern tables, I have a separate file for 0 page, all the RAM, all the code, read only. So everything gets included into that one main file, and it makes the makefile simple. That's how I've done some assembly projects in the past, and it just kind of works. Especially when you're wanting to put code in certain places. That seems, I haven't gotten into multiple banks, but I think it'll be easy. So that file defines where those files belong, trying to not have, I'm forgetting the tag. Anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, we're detecting if horizontal scroll. So, and cold fingers don't type well. Yeah. So if it's a horizontal, bit 2 is set. So and horizontal branch equal although just last stream, I think I was saying I need to get this make clean make done before Koitsu is back again, or if he does show up, I need to get him to tell me what to do. And then I realized I was just being lazy and dumb. So branches equal scroll vert. Yeah, it's I started using Vim in college because one of my instructors is like, you need, if you're an electrical engineer or electrical computer engineer, you need to use a real text editor. And he's just like, you're learning Vim. If you don't like Vim, you can go to Emacs after. But we had quizzes and stuff on Vim itself because he was so adamant about text editor. And so I got, I could use it, but then when I started working at Micron, I don't know, I get kind of bored at work. And so I do stuff with Vim, and I'm like, part of the thing is I had coworkers that I would watch. I'm like, wait, how did you just do that? And so I picked up a lot of things there. And then anytime I'd be doing some edit, and I'm like, wait, there's probably a better way to do that. I would just spend time learning Vim. I've lost a lot of it. I used to work at Micron. Yeah, the memory manufacturer. When I graduated in 2012 from Oregon State, I went to Micron, and I was there. That was my only real job after high school, Navy for 6 years, Micron, or Oregon State, and then Micron. And Micron, I quit Micron in 2015 and just started doing this full time. Yeah. Yeah, we were always I mean, it is good memory, but we always felt like we're getting beat by Samsung. Yeah. Yep. If you remember my senior design project, the NES Dev 1, the USB dev cart, I actually want to get going again so that I can easily. Oh, I think I might have known that. Or that you had some connection to Corvallis. I'm trying to. You're not there now, though, right? Oh, okay, yeah, you're originally from, yeah. Yep, we were there from 2009 when I got out of the Navy to 2012 when I graduated. Yeah, not since 1998. I do think I do seem to remember you were somehow tied to Oregon State though, or Corvallis. Okay, you're in a CS lab for 4 years. So late 90s then? Is that when you left it in 98? Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. Small world. Their computer, I heavily, well, it was electrical computer engineering, but I avoided statics and dynamics end of the spectrum in electrical engineering and took advanced operating systems and stuff like that. I got a CS minor, I guess, and then electrical computer was my major. So we load scroll dir, we and the horizontal bit. If it's clear, we go to scroll vert. Otherwise, do you still have family or anything like that in Corvallis? Any reason to go back? Or maybe do sometimes, or maybe you said you haven't lived there since 98, but you go back sometimes? So we load scroll dir. We clear the scroll bit, we OR the camera bit, we store it, and we done. All right. Let's see these. Yeah, I don't really remember where the roads were. Towns, Philomath and Albany and stuff like that. So he sold the property in 2008 or so, just before I got there, I guess. Family moved all over. Your mother's now back in Albany. And she'll be moving back to Corvallis probably within a year. Well, all I was going to say is if you find reason to go back there sometime, I'm thinking. So I worked at a small company in Corvallis part-time when I was going to school there, precision measurements and instrumentation, or instruments, whatever. So I have some old co-workers that are in Corvallis, and I've been talking to them recently. And I think I'm going to come down week before or after Portland Gaming Expo. So sometime in October this year, and probably years to come, or maybe I don't know. It depends. But I want to go back down to Corvallis. So I'll probably rent a car and buzz down there and spend a couple days in Corvallis and Albany. So if you ever find yourself looking to go to Corvallis in around Portland Retro Gaming Expo, it'd be great to meet up, man. Yeah. Yeah, let me know. Okay. Oh, I was looking up. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Still nothing. And now I can't. Before last time even I could. So the camera's not updating. Can I go right? Oh, we did scroll a little bit on the right. We scrolled 4 pixels. Did we do it on the left? Nothing. Okay, so right scrolls one time. Oh, and then I can use left to scroll back again. That's interesting. So left does work. I think it's my 0 detection. My exit. I'm not trying to save slot. I'm trying to play. Okay. Right does not. Left does nothing. Yeah, maybe. Let's check that quick. Okay, so trying to figure out what you're pointing out here exactly. So I was thinking about that earlier. I think you need to LDA before that break for exit 0. Is this the exit that you're talking about? Break not equal none. So I have these. Oh wait, what am I doing here? Check exit. So I say that A still equals scroll X. So here you're saying I need LDA 0? Check exit, LDA scroll X. Yeah, so did I have other ones? Yeah, it's just these 3. So let's just look through this again. So here I only enter this code if camera bit is set. Because I load scroller, jump if equal. I and camera bit. And I branch if equal. So if the camera bit's not set, I'll jump through this. So I load scroller again. I and it with up left bit. If it's, and this might be where the problem is. So I and it with up left. If it's clear, I'll jump to right scroll. So if it's set, it means we're going left. So I load scroll X, I subtract 4. I store scroll X. So scroll X will, like the first time, okay, because I'm having a problem the first time, and I think it has to do with the name table boundary that I'm trying to check here. Oh wait, here's part of the problem. If I do the left scroll, I just keep rolling on, and I perform the right scroll also. Here's the thing. I'm checking exit if, yeah. So if I'm doing the name table, yeah. If there's no carry, I check exit. But if there is, I also need to check exit because so that's when I went right. Then I did check exit, but I'm just trying to figure out where I want to go to. So scrolling right, when I have that carry, that is when I'm done. When the last one, wait, let me say that again. Yeah, so when I'm scrolling right, I scroll all the way through name table 1, and when I jump into name table 0, that's the last one. So I am check exit. Let's just call this exit so in this case, now for right scroll, I load scroll X, and the very first one jumps into name table 1. So right scroll, load, add, store. Branch of carry clear, because so we're adding, yeah, if the carry's set, then we're going to set name table to 1. And then we're going to check exit, but we know we're not exiting if we set this. But what happens if we check it? If we check it, yeah, so here's the thing. In this situation, like, and I think this is what you're saying, or might be related, when I call check exit, I know that A equals scroll X, but when I just roll into check exit, in this situation, it didn't. But in this situation, I know that we're not exit. I can just say horizontal cam done, I think. But this code is confusing. I need to maybe write some of these things I'm saying out loud as comments. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I didn't put. All right. Did we fix it? Let's see our name tables while we do it. Come on. It still didn't scroll. Well, I did one. I can go left and right. Anyway, I just did all these different directions. Let's try this again. And we did actually compile, right? Yeah. I'm gonna just open because 1144. Well, not getting anywhere close to the code I wanted to do today. I thought this would be quick, but of course. All right, let's just try right here. It's doing the same thing. But I wonder if it's my code later on. It might be. So I did write, and that did the one thing. Oh, I need to do a power cycle because I can't see exactly what's going on here. Okay, so we'll try left. The update happened, and it did move. So we did fix something because it is scrolling left one time. What happens if I hit right now? Nothing. It's stuck. To some degree, this makes sense because that branch we were missing made left behave differently than right. And we did fix that. If I hit right, it scrolls one over. So now it seems like they're both performing the same, but for some reason they stop after the first one. So the question is, here's what I'm wondering, because this code only executes if the camera bit is set. And check exit. I clear it. And maybe this is still. Let's just go ahead and so we check exit, load scroll X, make sure this is right. So we branch, because we know that we're done when it's back to 0. It won't be 0 because we incremented or we decremented by this point. So we load scroll X. No, it's just, this is the wrong branch. Branch equal. I think that's it. So we no, hold on a second. No, it was branch not equal. Because if it's equal to 0, then we're done. If it's not equal to 0, then we go to horizontal camera done. So here's the other thing is I have this. Let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and check exit. Even though I know we're not. We check it. We load scroll X. So we load scroll dir. We and camera mask, which will clear it. And then we O in or in the go to def bit. Now where else do we? Hold on. And I don't store it though. Okay. Oh, but I hear, okay. I don't know if this is the reason, but I get so in the habit of this not storing. I think I'm going to do that. Anytime I write LDA, I'm going to put a copy paste it and do an SDA. Yep, you caught that too. But this is for the exit condition, so it'd be one thing if it was just continue to scroll, but that doesn't. We may have fixed I don't think we fixed our problem, but anyway, let's check this. So we load scroll dir, we and mask to clear the camera bit. We or the go to default bit. And then we store it. Now, but here's the thing, even when that happens, then we're checking if scroll bit is set, and it shouldn't be, and it should exit. Okay, well, that's probably fine. Because we scroll bit should be clear. That's how we got here. We cleared it. I'll try to remember to check that, but I want to keep going with this. Yeah, because here, if we decrement scroll count, branch not equal. Scroll count should be 0, but oh wait, I don't know if I set scroll count to 0. Gosh, this is confusing stuff. Oh no, scroll count will be 0 because we decremented it. So if we're horizontal, now is the time to move the camera. Load scroll dir. Yeah. Did I not store it again? But that's not actually going to and it. I need to or it. These. So if it's horizontal. Oh, wait a second. I think that was right. But I think this is all broken. Let's see. So if horizontal scroll, now is the time to move the camera. So we load scroll dir, we and on the horizontal bit. We're just checking. I just added that. If it's clear, then we're going to jump to the scroll vertical. If it's set, we're going to load scroll dir, clear the mask, the scroll bit, or the camera bit, store. All right, well, we made some changes. I don't think they were fixed it, but yeah, same as before. We get one frame of scroll on left, and one on right. We can. So if I go right, it'll scroll one over, and then if I hit left, it'll scroll back. For some reason I'm exiting when scroll is ±4, it seems. Anyway, we can get into the debugger. Because at this point, I'm not finding things by just looking at the code. So I'm going to go right. Click on that. I scrolled one right. Now I'm going to go left. It scrolled twice, but it stopped at basically -4 or what it's 252. And it did change name tables, it appears. Now if I hit right, nothing. I get stuck here. But All right, let's get the debugger going. Okay, so we want to see scroller. We got it right here. How do I just delete these old? Remove, delete. Okay, I think it might be. Not beer 30, but beer midnight. All right, we want to see somewhere around here. Code always looks weird when I look at it in the debugger. Yeah, it's this and camera bit branch. Debugger is so big on my screen. Anyway, we got that set. Okay, but I have to hit a direction, so I'm gonna hit right. All right, so there we hit it. I'm gonna let it go. So this is the first. This should be the first run through. Scroll direction is 0E. So 0E, this is scroll right. Yeah, 0E. Yep, that's right. And what is it? F11. So we load scroller. Yeah, I guess we just started, but anyway. Wait, why are we always this code right above? At exit horizontal scroll. Wait, where's my breakpoint is here? I'm getting confused. Is all my labels getting... Yeah, build, okay. Oh, okay. I don't actually want to. I want to branch on this load scroller because here I'm jumping if we don't actually. Okay, that's I want to delete this one. I want to branch on, or I want to toggle on this one. All right. And we don't have the name table loaded yet. We're gonna hit right. Okay, so it went ahead and loaded up this name table. I'm gonna clear it. I don't know if it's gonna be messed up, but no, it shouldn't be. So load scroller, it equals 16 or 16. So yep, it equals right. Well, it equals camera right, which is correct because we went through all the update. We got to the last one. Time to move camera. Yep. And with 1, if left. Branches equal right scroll. So we should go to right scroll. Yep, we're at right scroll. We load scroll X. It's equal to 0. We clear the carry. We add. We store. That should happen, but I don't. I need to get my scroll X. We add. Does that add it to the watch? No. Add to watch. Okay, there we got scroll X. So scroll X equals 4. Now we're going to check exit. So we load scroll X. It's equal to 4. Group branch not equal, which should happen. Horizontal cam done. Okay. Horizontal camera is done. We're going to load scroller. It's still equal to 1x. We're going to AND it with 8. And 8 is scroll bit. And we should branch now. We did branch. Horizontal camera done. So I want it to. I can just go ahead and well, let's see. Scroller is still 1.6. Scroll X is 4. Well, in the first scroll works. So we can just play. Okay, here we hit it again. Scroller is still 16. We'll go to right scroll. Right scroll, scroll X. Oh, wait a second. Scroll X is 0. What's clearing it? Because I'm expecting it to be 4. Yeah, that's the problem. It keeps getting set to 0 somehow. It might be my reset scroll being Yeah, okay, let's just do that. How do we do that? Break on right to scroll. I have it here. Do I just do it here? Yeah. Add breakpoint. So now it's just a breakpoint. I thought it was going to give me another. Is there a way to... Oh, right here. Edit. So you can breakpoint on read. Let's just do it on write. Reset scroll. Then the question is, where am I calling reset scroll? Yeah, that was my first guess. Yeah, so I reset scroll when I release the Dpad. In reality, I don't want to do that at all. This is just an artifact of how I'd probably still want this function, but okay. Because the old way I had it, I just held it, and whenever I let go, I stopped scrolling. So that is hopefully it. Oh, I got all my breakpoints on though. Let's just turn those off. Run. Oh. Play. Well, what's going on? Were we calling that somewhere else? Oh, my name table's wrong. I must have been calling reset scroll at some point to initialize things. What happens if we scroll anyway? Let's just see. Hey, okay, that's something. We can only do left though. Let's where else? Gamepad had reset scroll. Where are we in? I mean, I'm trying to think if that's getting initialized anywhere else, and I don't think it is. Let's just maybe we just need one in the beginning, in the init of main. Let's just add a reset scroll up here. Boom. I can't scroll right anymore. Well, I think it's stuck on the go to default. Right. Hey, I double tapped it. It's like messed up now. Oh, I was just mentioning last stream that I wish that was a feature, but I was like, I'm not certain it isn't already a feature, so I'm not gonna complain about it being there. But it's on his to-do, so that's good because I would like that. If I hit right, it just keeps going. So left, goes click it because it moves it. Left works. It is aligned properly, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, okay. But so left works. Oh, I think part of the problem is it moved. Well, I know it's not going to work past this point because after we're here, now we're supposed to get back to the default name table. And that's the next step here. It's not happening. But let's go ahead and go right. Yeah. So it's just our let's see, so our check, because when we scroll right, we go all the way through name table 1 and then we land in name table 0. Now I do know that we're just done here. So I should be able to call exit scroll, but what happens? I load scroll X. And I branch if not equal. It should be. It should be equal. So I should be. Let's just try this. This should force it. Unless I'm not, am I not sensing this properly? Because if I'm, let's check this. So oh, it actually wasn't this one. It's scroll right that has a problem. Oh, and here it is. I jumped to horizontal camera done. That's why it's not doing it. I don't want to do that. That should fix it. Okay, I'm getting close to remembering the hotkeys, except when you hit F to run, it automatically jumps. It's nice it goes to the debugger for whatever reason. It will do that if you haven't touched anything. But as soon as you hit F5 to run, then the control goes away from this window and I have to select it again. Now I can do it. Scroll right. Boom. It's not. It's stopping. But wait, hold on a second. It's ending up back here. Why is that? Am I not setting the name table to 0? Right scroll. So it starts on 1. It should end on 0. Yeah. If carry set to name. No, that's not right. It goes all the way through name table 1 and stops once it just skips over to 0. Okay. There. Now we're stuck there. Kind of. It doesn't work properly after that point because we haven't. So the plan is, and I don't know how far I can get into this. I think I'm gonna have to call it a night, but so we set so that it's done. It's stopped. It turned the camera bit off, and let's just look at the. Yeah, I did do the past, like, ever since I started working with scrolling, I mean, I got the camera moving how I wanted to with the name tables already loaded up. That progress was faster than I expected. And so I think because of that, I was like, oh, well, I can get so much done. I don't know. But these small things take more work than I anticipate. I thought we'd be able to do this relatively quickly, an hour or less, and then have it do the Y, and the X is easy because you load the entire name table over a set of V blanks, and then the updates are done. Then you just tell it to scroll into it. The Y is what's going to be tricky. Yeah, attribute tables make scrolling tricky. I don't know. There's just a lot of control that's going on. But it's even trickier if you don't have a thorough understanding of the scroll registers and what all is going on. So if you have to learn all that on top of it, and I don't know. But I've been making good progress, or think it's good progress after I realized how much work it really was. But I overestimate what's possible in a session, which, whatever. Part of the thing is like, we do this one time, and then since I know what I want from the scrolling engine exactly beforehand, setting up what you think you want and then realizing you want something else is so much more work. Yeah, you gotta keep track of a lot. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. The Super Nintendo's easier. It's just everything seems more complex on the Super Nintendo, but there's just a lot more hardware doing work for you. So let's see here. I was gonna Oops. I was gonna look at scroll dir. It's 0. Because I think I would. Anyway, I don't know. I do want to load this up on the Nintendo real quick. Maybe let's just do that. Last time I used my EverDrive, but I got all my programmer hardware here, so I was gonna, let's just do that right now. What I want to do is add it to the makefile. So let's do this. But I want it to all be, shoot. Just gonna get it working here and then try to copy it over to the makefile. Okay, so I've called the program, I've called the script. We have NES, mapper CNROM. We want a program size of 32, a CHR size of 32. We're going to program, and the path for the file is Alwa's Awakening build Alwa.nes. Now I'm not actually stripping. Let's just see if it works. I'm not stripping the header, but I can add that to the script quick. Let's just try it and see what I think. Oh, I don't actually have it plugged in. Okay, so I've got my CNROM cart and my new flasher. It won't actually work, but I want to see if it gives me some. It'll tell me it flashed. Oh, you can't find it. It might not like it in this hub. I'll move my keyboard back and unplug my controller. Got like all right. What's it saying? It can't find. I know. NETROPro.c. Oh, I might not actually be able to run it from here. I got some other path problems. So let's just do this. Nope. One thing I can do is have my makefile copy the file over to the directory, and I can just run another command here, but really I've got to update my tool. CNROM minus X32 Y32 for program CHR program. Okay, it erased. It couldn't find the file, so let's just copy her over. Okay. Just gonna copy this guy. All right, and then I need to actually update my CNROM. Oh, I already got this in here. So file type is set to NES, so it'll eat up the first 16 bytes. Okay, so it might just work now. Done. Get my I don't know if I've actually tested this board. Possible I got the mirroring or something wrong. That's not right. It erased it. It flashed it. Part of the problem is there's 128 kbytes of CHROM available on here. So anyway, none of that's right. I have to figure it out, but I thought we'd get it. Wham bam. Oh, no? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I think, well, let's just try to fix that. I think the problem is, oh, wait a second. I know what it is. It's, I don't have the bank table located. I tried to put it at the beginning. Let's see if that actually happened. I knew I was going to have to do that. I was going to try to do it before the stream, but I forgot. Here we go. Oh, no, it should be in Pro. It's not right at the beginning. Text string. No, hex. There it is. Okay, so it's at 8FD7. 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 Before I forget. So we have to. I don't have. I don't think I'm using these. No, I am. Do I have an FF address? I don't know if I actually need it. I also haven't copied over my automatic dump and verify, which would be useful. No, I can't. There it is. I didn't have the FF adder. But that bank table has to be in the right spot for it to select other. Oh, it's still broken. Anyway, I can't really flash to other unless it happens to be that FF address. Why am I using that? You can overwrite Fs with. This is my dump CNROM. Well, that, yeah. My right CHR flash byte doesn't use that. So as long as I got this right, 8FD7. No, it's not 8F, it's 85. 85D7. I don't know. Bit of a sidetrack here, but yeah, maybe it's interesting. Hey, we got it. Oh, and I forgot you guys can actually see me editing the code there, but I'm not very good about managing that. Anyway, so we got this is not actually defined as a room, it's just the default one that I've always used that gets loaded when it first boots. And then I have room 0, 1, 2, 3 based on scroll direction. So we should be able to hit left. Boom. That's room 1, I think, because I did it clockwise based on the controller. So nothing works now. Reset. Do right. Boom. So that's room 3. I can do left from here. Yeah, it's just it doesn't. We haven't implemented the next step, and I need to rearrange my. When you guys see me looking at the TV, I'm looking at the wall. But if I rearrange things, then it won't look like that. There, now I'm looking at the TV. So, but we still have the problem with the scrolling up and down. So if I scroll up right now, it'll update the name tables and the attribute tables. There's a clash, I think, but then I have to, my scrolling ability doesn't work anymore. So I would update it and then scroll. But those updates, I'll do down quick. Yeah. See there, it makes it, but they all happen, and it's in the midst of our buffer. You can see it better here. But when we're scrolling up and down, we're within the same name table. And so we really only have this 4 bytes, or this 4 tiles worth of buffer to make the updates in. And I'll kind of share, I don't know, I might have lost my place. Is a mess. So I started looking at some notes after the end of last week's stream. The problem is, or the challenge, is we only have 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait a second. What am I? I might have been wrong on my. Is it only? I'm getting mixed up here. Yeah, thanks, 8-bit fan. This heads-up display is only 8 bytes. Right? Because it's 4 tiles worth high, 4 tiles high. So that's not going to be as hard as I thought it was going to be. My conclusion last stream is so this much is the HUD, because each one of these is a tile. It's a byte that's split up into 2-bit chunks. I thought we were going to have to, yeah. So my plan overall, we're not going to be able to get to this. The time you have in the status bar seems pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. So we have, I assume you're talking about the heads up display here. We have, my plan is to, we're going to have to, right now we're updating, well, it works perfectly, but we have to time, right? The X scrolling is pretty easy in the sense that you update everything when you get close to that edge and then just scroll over. Everything's done. But for vertical scrolling, we're scrolling right into the same name table. Scrolling up, we have to start updating from the bottom. And we have 2. So the scrolling rate is 4 pixels per frame. So we have we have 2 frames per row of tiles. Yeah. So 2 rows of tiles is 2 name table, 64 bytes of name tables, and then 8 bytes of attribute. So 64 plus 8. Yeah, so it's 72 bytes worth. And we have 2 frames to update it. Because it's 4 pixels per frame. So 2 frames per row. So we only have to update 36 bytes. And right now we're doing 56 bytes per frame. So it'll be no problem to do that. We just have to link up scrolling with loading. Yeah, we have time for an extra 20 bytes. I was getting mixed up and thought last time that we only had 8 bytes worth of buffer, which wouldn't be enough because you wouldn't be able to write an attribute byte at once without a glitch, and I was going to have this thing trying to split it up between attribute table nibbles, which would have been possible. There was time for it, but I was all mixed up. So it's going to be even easier. Next time we'll work on that, but I didn't really do a recap. I just talked about the beginning. Yeah. It'll be easy enough. So I didn't even. Anyway, I'm not going to get too involved with the recap because I don't feel there's even a whole lot to talk about. But anyway, let's do it. All right, so this is recap of stream number 13. We did have a few updates I made on the weekend. Outside of the stream, I just have different files for the project now, and alwa.s is the main one where I include all of the other files, and it just gets built from this file. And I updated the makefile to not have to make clean anymore. I had big sights on this stream, and I was a little bit overambitious, but that's okay. So previously, I updated the name table based on the Dpad, and then I would hit start or select to scroll into that. And because the vertical scrolls need to update while the scrolling is happening, I wanted to start easy and just have X scroll happen on its own, so I could hit the Dpad button and it would just update and then scroll into it. And so that's what we completed. So if you watch here, I will this is the default boot. It loads the first title screen or default dummy screen I made, and then I can scroll into left or right into the other. So instead of just only scrolling right with the select button. So I'll go ahead and hit left here. Boom. Scrolls into it. So it updated this table, and then it scrolled right into it. And we actually so if you watch over here, and this happened in previous streams, but as soon as it gets done updating, then it scrolls into it. So if you try to watch that, see, it happens pretty quickly. Now from here, it's can't do much else, because the next step is going to be where the default name table is always here. We scroll into the other one, but we want to get back over here for the next so we're prepared for the next scroll. So we have a bit set now, but we need to take care of that. So the next step would be to get this back. While we're here, we go ahead and update this name table to match, and then all we have to do is flip the name table bit, and boop, it'll go back to our default, and we're ready to move to another room. If we go ahead here and power cycle, because that's what we have to do currently, I'll test the right. So it'll update this name table again, but once it's done, and this is a different room, but once it's done, it'll scroll to the right and then stop once it gets here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Boom. So there's glitches and stuff here just because I didn't take the time to ensure I didn't have attribute clashing when I created these dummy screens, but we're loading different screens, and we have the Dpad simulating, Zoe getting close to that edge, and being like, okay, get ready for her to touch it, the edge, the name table's updated already, go ahead and start scrolling. In reality, it's pretty fast anyway, so you might not even need to preload. Just she hits the edge, you load it, you scroll. So we still don't have. So if I do up and down, it's basically in the state of the previous stream. It'll make the updates, but it won't. It's not perfect. Scrolling up, it starts in the proper position, but there's still some. I wasn't skipping over the attribute tables like I should have. And then I corrupted some of them anyway. And we can scroll down. That update happens properly because we don't run into the attribute tables. Or I skip over them properly, I think. Anyway. So I will show you a little bit of the code. I don't know, everything's in the control logic is in the main right now, which I don't really like, but anyway, we'll get it moved over into a function once it's all working. But I changed the scroll up, down, left, right constants for scroll direction byte. I started using bits to signify, so it's 0 if the scroll is not happening, and then scroll up, down, left, right. The bits 0 and 1 denote if it's up, left, or down, right, and then if it's horizontal. So I can have 3 bits tell me. That ends up making it easy to, instead of doing greater than, less thans, I can just and out the single bit to tell that, because for left and right scrolls, we have to do the update, then we move the camera. So I just have control logic in here based on bits. And once it's done with one state, it's basically a state machine, I guess, controlled by the bits. And we have all of our code here for changing the scroll X position, and when it rolls over, changing the name table being used to scroll into that next one. So once it's done, the scroll X will end up being back to 0, and I clear that camera bit and I set a bit for go to default, and so that's the next step to get X mostly done. And then we'll have to do the Y and actually update while scrolling. But that task is going to be easier than I had realized last stream. I thought we only had 8 bytes of one row of attribute table bytes, which is 2 tile rows. But we actually have 16. We should have 16. I'm second guessing myself, but yeah, the heads up display is 4 rows, and each byte of 8 is each box here is a tile. So we have 4 tiles, which means we have 16. Just for some reason I thought we only had 8, but that must be wrong. Anyway, so we'll work on that next time. And I also tinkered around with my own CNROM cart, but I've got some issue where the pattern tables aren't getting updated, and I'm sure it's related to bus conflicts with the bank selection. So anyway, y'all have a good evening, rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.